Okay, this is as we went over region 1 that we'd like to kind of revamp and reestablish more water conscious and zone appropriate species, as will be kind of the theme throughout this this push here. So yeah, let's just start with the hill, left side, walking into the house. Yeah, we're gonna continue the trail, kind of establish more of this trail that's sort of somewhat existing already, all the way up to a potential massage hale zone right up top here. Yeah, and we'll get rid of the old panel casing, unless that's something that you still wanted to keep. We can put it away somewhere and use it potentially down the line, maybe to power, you know, some solar fans or something for the massage parlor. So yeah, we have these huge rocks here. I know we talked about doing something in the range of like a 8 by 10, 10 by 12. So we'll just push this rock over, and then everything else can remain sort of as is. Going to pull out, yeah, some of this weedy foliage, all this dead and dry debris that's been kind of sitting here for years, of the old pahinahina, and we will just do kind of the organic peppering of everything we talked about. A few cocos in the appropriate pukas, and would be possibly nice to even get one of those dwarfs up here somewhere, if that's something that you would like to decide to do. And then, yeah, just the sisals, feeks, agaves, aloes, just kind of peppered in and throughout. And kind of, you know, no uniform borders. I know we're really not into straight lines or hedges, and neither am I. But to kind of establish that trail with no plantings and just kind of taper down the size, width and breadth of the plantings along the trail. So I'm thinking of going with just some simple aloes along it, and also stick some tea in here and there, a lot of nice tea. Okay, and then over here, walking up toward the pathway down below, you can see, we will trench in as organic a manner as possible, while keeping in mind that the primary function of this trench is to establish plants to both prevent wind and you know, wind-based and water-based soil erosion. So we're going to, again, try to get it in as organic a manner as possible, a nice flow and scape to it along the top of this hill, without really having too much of a straight line or a hedge. I know that is the primary concern for you. And as far as function is concerned, we do need to somewhat maintain that that line, but we can have it be organic. And by the time we trench, and the you know, the simple monocot type of plants that have lateral roots that retain the soil establish themselves, then we can add in, you know, more plants just kind of here and there to give it that really nice organic scape feel. So yeah, we're going to run the trench along the border of the hill. We're going to come around, you know, sort of this edge of the hill. We talked about trimming the ficus back in time. Will allow these plants to kind of establish themselves and do well, yeah, probably for a few years first. We can do some trimming, like, you know, here for example, it's kind of sticking out a little bit. If we're going to trench along here, just take off a little limb here and there. Nothing significant, nothing drastic, simply for function. Absolutely not for form at this point. Yeah, so that's it, really. And I, like we talked about, you know, and you can think about it, sleep on it, get back. We trimmed this butchered ficus, kind of trim off the top of this hedge right here, and give it a uniform canopy, add a lot of mulch and water. And really, you know, if it's something that you wanted to keep in the long term, we could. I know, you know, I had suggested, and really it would be better, given their tenacious nature, to kind of phase the ficus out. But in the interim right now, we absolutely need them to facilitate the growth of everything else we're trying to establish, simply because their root networks are so vast, and they're going to retain the soil while everything else gets established. That is going to help retain the top layer and intermediate layers of soil, thereby eliminating erosion on this hill, totally resolving a problem that has been a long-standing issue here. I would like to keep the, if you can see it, the pahinahina along the driveway. Get a little more water and mulch to that, just along the driveway. So it's kind of like a nice area to walk in without being poked by big sisals, etc., etc. And we're going to totally revamp this poinciana. These trees are notorious for having like a cyclical nature of accumulation, abundance, and then just defoliation. But if you keep them well fertilized, mulched, and watered, they just have an entire canopy of these extremely electric, vibrant, not necessarily super fragrant, but absolutely visually, aesthetically gorgeous plants. You can see there's even a bee right there. Just a nice thing to have around when everything's in flower. You're going to attract bees. You're going to increase flowering in all the other plants, you know, by eliciting, you know, a response from the bees to come out here, have a reason to get here. So yeah, we'll revamp that. This monkey pot is just kind of spindly and nasty. I think it would be nice if it got out, because it volunteered there anyway. So anyway, yeah, that's that. And we'll add some, clearly, like we discussed, we'll add a bunch of mulch, organic Kiawe mulch from right down the road. Don't worry about bugs. We'll dye earth everything. And even though I don't think it's going to be that too much of an issue on this hill, just given its exposure to the sun and everything, it's not the ideal nesting site for roaches, etc. It will happen, but you know, that's to be expected with any mulching. But as long as we dye earth, it will really help to eradicate that issue. So yeah, that's this hill. This will be the first thing we do, and as again, set a projected date of September 1st for this to be all finished. So yeah, about a month away, and then in October 1st to kind of get some ferns back into the pathway here. And so that's it.